Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
To be or not to be? Not to be.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Draft Action Hero,
Yeah!
folks.
Yeah! Whatever this show is, it continues to be.
It continues. It's going to continue for a little longer.
The world was a different place when this show began.
It's true. I'm one of your hosts, David Bale.
I'm the second host, Tom Raymond.
I just want to do a thank you to James Rainey. They're the ones who made this mess happen.
Our delightful Patreon producer who is commissioned this show and is the one responsible for it.
Thank you. Tom, I'm not feeling great today.
I know. You were telling me.
I'm not sick.
You're like a real relish of potential diseases.
Yeah, I'm in like the neighborhood of sick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like subscribing to the Six newsletter.
Yeah, you're like the sneeze guard at a salad bar. You're like a couple of different viruses, and they're all fighting for dominance.
Mm-hmm. Do we have to
like a Mad Max scenario?
Yeah. Well, that was the last episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Should we explain?
Yeah, we probably should.
Doing?
We've been doing this for like fucking 2 years now, so it is entirely possible that people are listening to this specific series for the first time.
Yeah. Listen, this is like a sort of a role-playing podcast. We've been taking from a pool of action heroes. We do a draft where me and Tom take turns picking them, and then we run them through a series of randomized scenarios to see who will win.
Yeah,
that's more or less it.
Basically, yeah. It's we draft our heroes, we randomly generate a scenario, and then Dave and I just ramble for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, we ramble. That's a good word for it. Yeah,
it's we'll call it improv.
Yeah, we can call it improv. It's technically improvised.
We can do that. We're the third city, Dave.
Is it good improv?
Is any improv good?
That's true.
Yeah.
Listen, I've never done improv in my life. I've
attempted it a few times.
Really? I have one of those brains that when I think I'm doing improv, it'll lock up. Like it's one of those where like I have a brain that like sabotages me. In terms of improv,
smoke starts coming out of your ears.
Yeah. I have the kind of brain where someone goes up to me and says, "Name an animal," and my brain just goes, "Nope."
Yeah.
You're not gonna do that anymore.
No, that's happened to me a few times.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So
you're a shopkeep and you just freeze.
Yeah. Exactly. You just freeze and you run. So yeah, with that in mind, we're gonna improv.
Yeah, we're two old Teddy Ruxpins with barely any battery power left, trying to tell a story without one of the accompanying storybooks. This is an analogy that's going to be very useful for everyone that didn't grow up in the 80s.
It's fine, man. The fact that I'm low energy is actually works in my favor for shit like this. Does that make sense? Like whenever we played D&D, I found that the sleepier I am, the more fun I have because my brain is just like just oozing out bullshit.
Right. Yeah, the sleepier you are, the more chaotic you become. That's
exactly.
that's for sure.
All right. What's our episode theme?
Oh, man, it's James Bond's.
It's James.
It's the
Bonds.
James's Bond.
Yeah.
The Jimmy's Bond.
There are 6 actors who most famously played James Bond. There's a few more actors on top of that, but who gives a shit about them?
Yeah, this isn't a movie trivia show, and nobody gives a fuck that you know that David Niven played James Bond one time. Get
Exactly.
out of my face.
So we are taking from the pool of George Lazenby, Timothy Dalton, Roger Moore, Sean Connery,
Sheen,
Pierce Brosnan,
yep,
and a Danielle Craig.
a D. Craig.
Yep. And we are going to each have one of those guys clunk them through a scenario and see what comes out the other side.
Yeah.
We have to pick three elements, which we're not picking right away. We're going to do the draft first.
Yeah.
But those elements are a location, a group of henchmen, and the scenario.
Yeah. So basically, it could be we're fighting the Foot Clan on an airship to save the president's daughter or something.
Exactly.
You guys get it? You've seen movies.
Yeah. So what I got here, Thomas,
yep.
is a coin, and if I flip it,
I've
you
heard
can
of those.
call
I've heard
heads.
of those, yeah.
Yeah, you can call heads or tails.
Okay.
And then we will be able to know who starts the draft.
Got it.
Are you ready?
I am.
All right, call it.
Tails, like the tales we are about to spin.
It's tails.
Yeah,
You've
of course
won
it is.
most of the fucking coin
I have.
tosses.
I think I've won 90% of them.
Yeah. So you get to pick one first, and then I do two, and then you do two, and so on.
We're not on this. I want to stress this. That's not a bit. Dave and I haven't recorded a single one of these in the same room, so he could just lie to me and say that he wins every coin toss.
No, I've been completely honest. It's more fun. It's more fun if I tell the truth.
That's
because
true.
The truth is that you've won almost every single coin toss. So who
do I want for? I think I want Roger Moore.
All right.
Taking Roger Moore.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, listen, I don't know a few of these. They're movies, so I'm just taking for what I know. I'm gonna grab Sean Connery, and I'm gonna grab Pierce Brosnan. And I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Who do you want?
I'm gonna take Timothy Dalton.
Okay.
Fuck it, I'll take George Lazenby since I know you don't.
Jorge Lazenby.
I know you don't know what to do with George Lazenby.
Yeah.
So
did we just split that straight down the middle? Was Sean Connery the last before Pierce?
What do you mean?
Like, did we just split it chronologically?
Well, it went Sean Connery, George Lazenby, Roger Moore.
Okay, so the answer is
Dalton,
no.
Pierce Brosnan, Daniel Craig. Yeah, so the answer is no.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know much about. I've seen some of the old ones. I've seen all of the new ones. I'm not a Bond head. We should have gotten Alex Schmidt to show up. For this.
We should have done that.
Yeah. Okay, so we've split it up. So now we have to figure out what's happening, right?
Yeah, let's roll up some scenarios.
So I got this thing called Wheel Decide, and I am going to spin a virtual wheel, with a list of locations. Those locations are an airplane, the White House, a Wild West town. Do we decide that if it's a Wild West town, it's also that era?
Yes. I don't know. We can decide that when we get there. Either James Bond having to fuck around in a Wild West movie set and also James Bond traveling back in time to the American Wild West. Both are delightful ideas.
Yes. An amusement park or theme park, a castle, New York City, or a haunted mansion. I'm going to spin the wheel now and see what happens. We are going to land on a castle.
Sure. Okay.
All right. We'll see what all the... We have the right to adjust things if everything's boring. So now we have a henchman. Henchmen include...
I will say that it's high time they throw James Bond into a haunted house.
Yes, I agree. For henchmen, we have an evil sports team. I can't wait
we
to
did
find an evil sports
we
team.
did evil sports team.
Did we, though?
Yeah, well, not sort of. We did like the evil New England Patriots.
I thought those were... Damn, yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay, so should I bump it off?
I mean, do you ever really bump off an evil sports team?
Okay.
Don't they just come back stronger?
Dinosaur clones, cannibals, terrorists, Star Wars stormtroopers, or Nazis. If it's Castle and Nazis, it's basically just Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
All right, rolling it. Let's see what comes up. Oh, fuck. Yes, dinosaur clones.
Yeah. All right, so dinosaur clones can be a number of things.
So now we're at the plot of Jurassic World 2. That was a castle.
That's
dinosaur
true.
clones.
I kind of love that shitty movie.
Yeah.
I love just putting it on. It's so goddamn bad.
It's really bad.
It's really fucking bad.
So now a scenario. We have You Are Judge Dredd. Treasure hunt. A price on your head. Being framed for murder. A revenge rampage. Or the plot of Revenge Page. Or the plot of Time Cop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to roll this and see, or rather spin it and see what happens. My God, Tom. It's the plot of Time Cop.
Sure.
So we're going to need to sit down and think about this for a second. So we have a castle. This is so many hats on hats. Castle, dinosaur clones, and the plot of Time Cop.
This is a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of moving parts. Okay, so
yeah.
So a villain is traveling. The plot of Time Cop is a villain is traveling to the past, nefariously using time travel technology to alter the
dino
future.
DNA.
Yeah, that could be a part of it. Sure.
Yeah.
But the specific plot of Time Cop is he's doing it to become president.
Right.
Which that's fucking what a lame ass use of time traveling. That's the limit of your time heist imagination is to become president.
Yeah, it's lame.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
I'd become like Mick Jagger or something. I don't want to be president.
I'd become rich.
Yeah.
I just become rich.
What he does instead, what Ron Silver does instead in Time Cop is he goes back in time to steal money. He does time heists to use that money to run for president. I'm just, keep the money, Ron Silver. What are you doing?
All right, so here's my question. Does the plot of Time Cop negate all the other stuff?
No.
Okay. So, but it does sort of negate the location.
Not really.
You don't think so? Because I guess here's my question is, do you want to do the entire plot of Time Cop with James Bond and just Ron Silver is a like a dinosaur?
Well, Ron Silver would be the mastermind, and then the dinosaur would be his henchman.
The henchman would be the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So Ron Silver would be the
final boss.
The final boss.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, do we need a castle? We can eliminate the castle and just do Time Cop with dinosaurs?
Yeah, we can.
I'm trying to figure out.
Well, listen, the Time Cop begins and ends in Time Cop's house.
Okay.
So Time Cop's house can be a castle.
Okay. So the final villain. All right. So we have the last.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We have the final stage is fighting Ron Silver Ron Silver in TimeCop Castle. All right. So what are the other action beats? There's that factory, that like ice factory. Am I remembering that correctly?
It's the factory where they make like computer chips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So computer factory, that's another.
There's a mall.
Do they fight in the mall? I thought he just stops a shoplifter with a.
And towards the end, he has to
kick.
rescue. Now we're just running through the plot of TimeCop. Well, I mean, yeah,
that's
what we've
the
done.
stage.
He never really fights anybody in the mall. That's true.
Yeah, we have the part where he's woken up after getting drunk on the couch in his apartment.
Right, he has to fight in a shitty studio apartment.
Yeah, studio.
That's the first one. Then he fights. Then he fights in the computer chip factory.
Yep.
And then it's his house pretty much after that.
Is it that? That's all there is to TimeCop?
Actually, the very technically. The very
his
first
house explodes.
The very first fight scene in TimeCop is in the 1920s. When he beats up 3 bodyguards in 1928.
Okay, we'll start in all right, we'll do 1928. Wall Street.
Or thereabouts.
He's doing the stock market.
It's during the Depression, yeah.
Wall Street skyscraper. All right, office. It's like a fancy office. The guy has the Walkman. And then he gets attacked in his. So we have four stages here. Is that enough?
Yeah, that's plenty.
All right, and Ron Silver is the final boss in the studio apartment. It's like 2 dudes, right? With they have tasers.
One of them definitely has a taser.
Yeah. I'm going to give them both tasers.
And then he has a glorious split with his butt in the moonlight to dodge the taser.
Yeah, he sure
does.
Which
is going to be really funny to see Roger Moore try to do that.
Yeah. And then the computer factory. What happens there? Who are the bad guys?
It's more henchmen. It's a
don't they just have Uzis or something?
Yeah, they just have like guns, and then like taser henchman gets his arm frozen off and kicked out.
I'm imagining just dudes with Uzis. I think it's important to give them weapons so we know, like, for the sake, like, like role playing. It's like the skeleton has like a bow staff, and you're like, okay, now I know what I'm working with here. So like, Uzis? I would say the computer. It just feels right.
Yeah.
Tasers in the apartment. Skyscraper. I think it's just fisticuffs.
Skyscraper
at the Wall Street 1928.
Oh, that's just fighting. Yeah.
Fists. This like the evolution of this really works. This is like a video game. So like fancy boys with fists.
Mm-hmm. Old timey
and
boxers doing Queen Mary fisticuffs.
Yeah. All right. Ron Silver. So Ron Silver has added damage because there's 2 Ron Silvers. Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There's 2 Ron Silvers. Is there a couple dudes with Uzis, would you say?
Well, there's like there's a couple of henchmen. They have shotguns, and then there's like a punch henchman.
Shotgun henchman. Henchman 2. And then a punchman.
Yeah. This is great radio.
Well, yeah, we're getting it all out. And there's a ticking time bomb, right?
Yeah.
Ticking bomb. So you're trying to prevent your house from exploding at the end and kill Ron Silver. All right, but they're also dinosaurs? These are all dinosaurs.
The henchmen are dinosaurs.
All right, what kind of dinosaur is Ron Silver?
Sometimes dinosaurs is henchmen. I don't know. Ron Silver doesn't necessarily have to be a dinosaur, but he could also be King Koopa.
Okay. I'm going to make the punchman a raptor. The 2 shotgun henchmen.
Do we want to make them the dinosaur marines that they were initially going to make in that original Jurassic Park 4 script?
So there's a couple
of things like, you can do with...
Yeah, they just have like raptor powers.
Yeah.
That's fine. This is going to be a fucking mess. Shotgun henchmen. Do we want those, I don't know, pterodactyls?
Sure.
Dactyls. Wow. Oh, no, never mind. I was like, I spelled it right in the first try, and then Google Docs was like, ha, No, you did not, sir. The dudes with Uzis at the computer factory, do we want them to just be T-Rexes? T-Rex-like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, all right, they have the attributes of the dinosaurs, right? Like, they're dinosaur people.
Yeah.
The dudes with tasers, you think like a Dilophosaurus?
Sure. Yeah, give them glorious crests and a beautiful frill.
Oh, I nailed Dilophosaurus. All right. Fancy boys with fists. I don't know.
Triceratops?
Triceratops, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so we have a movie here.
Yeah, this is a fucking motion picture.
All right, TimeCop. There's a castle. Castle home. So, all right, it's time to pick our bonds. Tom, you want to do the honors? You have George Lazenby, Timothy Dalton, Roger Moore.
That's true. Oh man. Fuck. I think I'm gonna go with Roger Moore.
Okay. Roger Moore. Yeah, I'm picking Sean Connery.
Okay, all right.
Oh man.
But I'm specifically picking Roger Moore from A View to a Kill.
Okay. I'm picking Sean Connery from my vague memories of the one of the volcano. Is it a volcano?
Yeah.
With Blofeld.
Yeah, that's what Diamonds. No, that's not Diamonds Are Forever.
We just watched
it.
Doesn't matter.
It's the name of the show.
Yeah. Okay, so it's 1928. Guy is sitting on his tech Walkman,
listening to
reading
Sony
the
mini
papers.
discs.
Yeah, mini discs. He's got two Triceratops people.
Yep, but
on either side.
They're in suits though. They're in old timey suits.
They're in old timey suits. He's doing Wall Street stuff. Do you want to jump in, or should I?
Real burly Triceratops men. Well, I won the draft, so you should go first.
Okay. So in steps through the time portal, Sean Connery. I'm barrel chested. I'm hairy. I'm wearing like just shorts for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And
but
I
like 1962 shorts. So
yeah.
It just looks like somebody tried to dress a grizzly bear.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm like that boom mic operator in the Star Wars behind the scenes. And so I'm just like, I'm moist. Like I got beads of sweat on me, and I'm very hairy. And there's like a visible like waft of musk.
You're so sweaty that each sweat droplet that hits one of your incredible body hairs just twangs like a guitar string.
Yeah.
That's how sweaty and hairy you are.
Yeah, exactly. So I walk in, and what does Jean-Claude say? I basically say I'm a time cop. I'm here to stop you. This guy doesn't want any of that. And so the two. What are they? Triceratops.
The Triceratops, yeah.
Right. And so, all right, I go to the one on the right, and I swoon. I swoon them.
You swoon them?
Yeah. I hold them for the small of their back, and I bring them close,
mm-hmm.
and I tell them I know what's best for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do.
And I give them a rough mouth kiss.
On their beaks.
On their beaks. And then I like tug them weird.
Yeah.
Like I do that thing where I like shake them.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to kill a toddler. And then I kiss them again.
That's romance.
Yeah. And then I take the Triceratops into the other room, and it cuts away. But it's implied that we slept together, and then we wake up on on like a swanky bed, and the Triceratops is like so into me, and I slap him. I slap the Triceratops, and then I do that grab thing again, and then we kiss. And then like a bunch of ninjas come in, and they kill the Triceratops. And I fight the ninjas for a while, and I just end up shooting them. Like I just shoot the ninjas in the gut.
Mm-hmm. In 1928.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on in the other room with like
they're just
Wall Street
listening.
Guy?
They're just listening in. And then I walk in, and I shoot the Triceratops in the gut.
It's been a few hours at this point, right?
Yeah. And then I grab the Triceratops and I hold him in the small of his back, and I do the shaky thing again.
Yeah.
And I give him a big mouth kiss, and then I slap him one, and then do another mouth kiss, and then well, that one bleeds out because I already shot it.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, that didn't work. And then I approach the Wall Street dude, and I'm licking my lips, and I'm like, you're gonna get a mouth kiss and a shake. And they
that's right. Yeah, shaken, not stir.
Yes, exactly.
He doesn't stir his romantic partners. He shakes the shit out of them.
Yeah, and I grab him and I hold him in the small of his back, and I give him a rough mouth kiss, and I shake him so hard that he flings out of the window. But then he gets time-copped, right? And then he gets put on trial.
Mm-hmm.
And I time-cop back, and they chew me out. They're like, you got to stop kissing and shaking everyone. It's just, I mean, it's not like illegal, but it's making the process really weird for everyone. Like, we talked to him, and he says you kiss-shaked him. But we're going to send him back to right as he fell. And they do that. And, and he smashes into a car. And that's, I guess that's it. That's how I handle the Wall Street skyscraper office.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I guess it's my go now. All right. So
Yeah.
Roger Moore is going to time slide into the Wall Street guy's office, and he's going to look up from his Wall Street stuff with his headphones on, and be like, "Roger Moore, what are you doing here?" And Roger Moore is going to look at him and his Triceratops associates, and he's going to be like, "I've come to take you to justice." I guess that's what Roger Moore sounds like.
I don't know, man.
Couldn't I just woo you, perhaps, and convince you to come back to the future with me and face just prosecution for your crimes? And they're like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to sit here back in the past and cheat at Wall Street. And it's like, well, obviously I can't have that. But I'm old as shit, like just real fucking old and creaky.
Right.
So these Triceratops come for me, and Roger Moore's like, "Oh, fuck me, dinosaur man!" And I try to like dodge the punches, but I just kind of don't. And I catch a Triceratops fist in my ribs, and everybody just hears 1,000 bones exploding because I'm like 60 years old. And Roger Moore's like, "Oh dear, it's happening again, Paul!" And Paul McCartney comes in and starts wailing out "Live and Let Die."
Right, yeah.
And I hide behind a couch for a while because it's a long song. If you've ever heard the song, it goes on for a minute.
Right.
And I use some sort of like time healing thing to like restore my ribs. So I haven't been punched like that since I was down in the bayou investigating voodoo murder. Now it's time for me to come back from behind this couch and apprehend this person. So I step back up, and Paul McCartney's finishing up, and I say, "Thank you, Paul." And he's like, "That's fine." And then he leaves. And they're just like, so they're so starstruck by seeing Paul McCartney. Like one of the Triceratops men chases him out to get an autograph on his Wings shirt, even though it's 1928. Paul McCartney transcends time and space.
Yeah.
So that's one henchman dealt with.
Beautiful.
and I kind of like come over to the desk to talk to the Wall Street guy, and I'm like, listen, you have to stop these time crimes. You're doing irreparable harm to the future. And he's like, I don't care about the future. I'm making money for my boss, Ron Silver. And I'm like, my God, Ron Silver is trying to make money in the past. What could this portend? And the Triceratops punches me in the head, and all of my bones break again.
Right.
I wake up several hours later, and the Wall Street guy has killed himself out of shame, and the Triceratops is out looking for a new job. And Paul McCartney gives me a ride back to the time station.
Right.
I
like that both of our scenarios are the bad guy just kills them. Oh no, I flung him. I flung mine.
You shook him out the window.
That's true. I
tried to be dashing. I'm just so old. Mm-hmm. I'm too old to be doing this. I'm too old for this shit.
So we passed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I go back to my studio apartment, Sean Connery. Mm-hmm. I'm still wearing just the shorts. I sit down and I put on my old wedding tape of the Triceratops that I slept with. Yeah. Of that Triceratops building a birdhouse that was killed by ninjas. And I say everything, all the lines in the tape. I drink a bottle of bourbon.
And you get more hairy in the process.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I have to drink a few bottles because, boy, I drink a lot. So I eventually pass out. And when I finally come to a henchman, this is easy. Instead of tasers, let's just give them mouth venom.
Yeah, they're just spitting fucking venom.
Yeah, I get spat in the face by one of the henchmen. And I'm like, oh, fuck! And I roll around for a while. And I get up. And I'm like, all right, just give me a second to recover. And for some reason they do. And so I take out a cigarette. I'm like, I'm just going to light this cigarette. And I light the cigarette. And they stare. And then then the cigarette explodes a rocket. And it hits my TV. And I'm like, no! My tapes! So I run into my bedroom. Shit, I should be doing a split, but I'm Sean Connery. Shit, there's got to be a split in this somewhere. All right, I run to my kitchen. And I do a split, but nothing for no reason.
Yeah.
There's no reason I'm doing
it. It's a flex.
It's amazing.
It's a flex, yeah.
It's an amazing split. I use both of the counters. Those shorts go right up into my butt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's devoured by your asshole. The Dilophosaurus gasp.
Yeah, at this point, I've accomplished nothing.
You've done the splits.
Yeah, and so they're like, we're still going to kill you. And I'm like, all right, let me just step into the bedroom real quick. And I jump, I do like a roll, like a crash roll into the bedroom, close the door. The henchmen, the Dilophosaurus are outside. They start spitting on the door. They're slowly dissolving it. And suddenly they hear just the whirring of chopper blades. And they're like, what the fuck is that? And just bursting out of the door comes my mini helicopter.
Oh, right. Yeah, that thing was pretty sweet.
Yeah, and the problem is it's a studio apartment. So the thing just starts spinning out of control. I'm not even in it. Like, it just starts doing, like, these, like, wheelies in the apartment. It decapitates one of the henchmen immediately. So that's great. That really works. And so the thing just starts spinning out of control. It smashes into the neighboring wall. Probably out into the hall. Like, it smashes out into the hall. And it just really wrecks the place. So there's still that Dilophosaurus left. He spits. This time I do a cool split this time, and it's just the clap of my butt cheeks just creates like a shockwave that knocks him down. And then I run back into the bedroom, and the Dilophosaurus man hears a whooshing sound, and I come out with a lit jetpack.
Yeah.
And then I grab the Dilophosaurus, and I hold him by the small of his back, and I give him a big forceful kiss, and I shake him a few times, and then I jetpack straight out my window while kissing the Dilophosaurus, and it is burning my mouth, let me tell you. You do not want to kiss a Dilophosaurus.
Right.
And then we're soaring, and we're in love. And then I drop him. I just drop him. And I think that's both Dilophosauruses.
Yeah. No, you've checked off both of those boxes, yeah.
Okay. And I'm off to the computer factory on my jetpack.
Yeah, no, truly, you are the world's greatest secret agent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Time I6's finest agent. Okay, so Roger Moore, he gets back from his timescapade in 1928, and they're yelling at him like, Roger Moore, you got to stop being so Roger Moore on these timescapades. Like, it's the only thing I know how to do. I don't know why you're angry at me. It's like, well, you gotta throttle it back some. Be younger. Be less old. I can't. It's simply out of my power. So they send me home. I go home, but I enjoy a respectable amount of booze while I'm watching my video of my dead wife building a birdhouse.
Right.
My dead wife, Diana Clitosaurus.
Nice. God damn it.
Yeah. You got to have the Bond girl name, Dave.
I know. Clitosaurus.
Oh, how I miss you, Diana Clitosaurus. You built that birdhouse like you a cubby reporter for Home and Gardening magazine. So I enjoy like a small amount of whiskey as I'm reciting this birdhouse building video, and then the Dilophosauruses come in, and I just piss immediately because I'm an old man and I frighten easily.
Right.
And I say, "Shit, Paul!" And then Paul McCartney comes out and starts playing his bass to distract them for a little bit. He plays "Live and Let Die," which is going to give me 5 or 6 minutes to prepare. Mm-hmm. But I don't. I like it. It takes me that long to like change out of my piss clothes.
Right.
And I'm at this. It's like for the first time in a long time. For the first time in years, I'm actually glad that Diana Clitosaurus is dead, so that she can't see me reduced to peeing on myself. I'm not quite so debonair these days. So I change my clothes. Paul McCartney finishes, and he's like, "Look, that's all you get, man. I hope that was enough time." And he leaves. Now it's just me and the Dilophosauruses, and they spit. And I leap up onto the counter to do the splits, and my hip just explodes, just powders.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like throwing a concrete block through 17 panes of glass. And I just scream. So I fall. I just scream. I'm just screaming my head off. The Dilophosauruses are clearly uncomfortable.
Right.
Like this didn't go the way they anticipated. It's just really ghastly and ugly, and they're just not feeling good about it. So they actually call 911. And they apologize as the ambulance takes me away, and I'm like, "It's quite all right, old chap." I was just, you'll appreciate it someday once you've loved and lost, and time has passed you by, and so on and so forth, and then and such. And then I use my wrist laser to kill them.
Like a coward.
Yeah. Like an old coward.
Right.
I just sliced their necks with my wrist laser that Q gave me. Another old man. There's some reason I'm less. They've decided I'm less old, so I'm suitable for the field. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So they drive me to the hospital, and I'm in traction for several weeks.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm soaring to the computer factory. Oh man, you're gonna need a second. Okay. So
I'll be fine. I'm the world's greatest secret agent, Dave.
Right. That's true. So I crash into the computer factory. There's dudes with Uzis who are T-Rex right?
Yeah, they're T-Rex in both temperament and appearance.
All right. And they have little stubby arms.
The Uzis are taped to their arms.
Okay,
because they don't have thumbs, but they can pull the trigger as long as it's attached to their other finger.
Right. I land, and now you realize that somehow during my my flight, during my jetpack flight, I have put on makeup, Asian makeup, like Asian face.
Yeah, sure.
And everybody's just like, dude, what the fuck? And I'm like, my name isn't Dude. I'm. Yeah. What's his fake name in that?
I don't even remember.
I don't know. I say something really racist.
I'm sure
for
it was
my name,
staggeringly racist.
and they're all like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. But I'm not taking off the makeup. Ron Silver's there, isn't he? This is where he's talking to his clone.
It's past and future Ron Silver.
Yeah, so I grab past Ron Silver because he's the weaker one, and I hold him by the small of his back, and I give him a shake and a slap, and I kiss him.
Yeah.
And they're like, can you take that makeup off? Holy shit. And Ron Silver breaks away, which I see as a sign of affection, because I'm Sean Connery.
Mm-hmm.
And then the T-Rexes start shooting at me. So I jetpack away, and I land, and then I stay very still. And they're like, shit, where'd he go? Ron Silver is trying to, like, direct them, like, to direct them to where I am, and I keep just, like, moving a little bit, and it's very frustrating. All the while they're just sort of like really taken aback about like the racist ass outfit I'm now wearing.
It's really grotesque. Yeah.
For what seems like no reason. Like there's nothing. You
gained
like
I'm
not undercover.
You gained somewhat of an advantage by doing it. It's tactical racism.
Yeah, it's tactical racism. And then I say, and I get closest to one of the T-Rexes, but I keep like moving and then stopping and moving and then stopping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
While Ron Silver's are just yelling like, "Come on, he's right there," and he looks so racist. And I'm like, "Excuse me, I just got to write a check." And I take out a pen, and they're like, "Jesus Christ, don't go near the pen. It's gonna be a whole thing."
Mm-hmm.
And then I stab the T-Rex in the neck with the pen. Just a regular.
It was just
pen.
a regular
and
pen.
It was just a regular pen.
Sure.
And then I stab him a bunch. And then, I think that does it for that T-Rex. And then I jetpack over to the second one. There's only two? Are there two? We didn't figure out the number.
That's two is fine.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. There can be three because what I'm going to do here is then I take out a matchbook. And they're like, "Fuck! What is he going to do with that? It's so racist." And I'm like,
even the matchbook is racist. Okay.
Yeah. And I press the back of the matchbook, and it turns into a Spinosaurus.
Oh no! Okay.
Yeah, and it kills the T-Rex, and everybody is really disappointed by that.
Mm-hmm.
People are just like, "Come on, man! We love the T-Rex. Why do you have to do it dirty like that?" But sure enough, now I'm dressed in a racist costume, riding a Spinosaurus, and so just everybody hates me and everything about me and what I represent.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes care of both of the T-Rexes. So Ron Silver leaves, right?
Yeah, he
TimeCops
cops out of there.
He TimeCops out of there. My partner betrays me or dies?
Yes.
Yeah, both? Is it both? And then I learned that...
And then, yeah.
And then I learned that my wife was pregnant, and now I'm like, well, I should probably now I have to save her life.
Yeah, now
Like,
you must
yeah.
must go back in time.
Yeah, before it didn't matter, but now I'm going to break all the rules and I'm going to save my wife's life.
Well, it's illegal. You're trying to follow the letter of the law, Dave. You can't just play around with time travel just because you're personally upset.
That's true.
But this is the final straw.
Yeah, that's true. And then I fly off. That's that. That's that for me.
Ah, sweet. Okay. So I have a long and painful recovery, but I'm back on my feet after a while. Blessedly, Ron Silver has delayed his plans. They were waiting around the computer chip factory for quite a while. They've basically moved in now, and they have a little efficiency apartment in there, little T-Rexes. Right. But I show up with my partner, Gloria Rubinosaurus. And... yeah, Ron Silver. This is where Ron Silver kills his old computer chip partner. He's just like, "You're too late to stop me, Roger Moore." And I'm like, "Oh dear, I know. I'm sorry. I didn't expect, the ravages of time, so on and so forth. My hip is not what it used to be." He's like, "Yeah, I understand, but I got to kill my partner so I can claim his computer chips in the future and use that money to run for president." And I'm like, "Why would you want to run for president? Why would you just keep the money and just be rich somewhere, like on an island? That's what I plan on doing. I'm Roger Moore and James Bond. I could take the James Bond money and go just chill out an island. Why don't you want to do that?" I have no idea what my Roger Moore voice is, by the way. It's like,
I mean, it sounds great.
It's like more fancy.
I
Bane.
believe it. Yeah.
It's like Bane's professor.
Yeah.
It's Bane's dialect coach.
Yeah, it works.
So Ron Silver's like, "Kill him!" And the T-Rexes just start shooting wildly with their weird little T-Rex arms. And I say, "Gloria Rubinosaurus, get down!" But she gets shot 78,000 times to be poisoned in the hospital later, as foretold by TimeCop.
Right.
So I say, "Paul McCartney, please." So Paul McCartney shows back up to play his bass as I cower behind some machinery and weep. I just weep for time. I weep for the loss of old friends. I weep for Gloria Rubinosaurus. I weep for my dead wife, Diana Clitosaurus. I'm like, how am I going to get out of this jam? And then a racist hillbilly sheriff shows up. I don't remember his name. He's the character from Live and Let Die. You guys know. You remember when James Bond randomly meets a racist hillbilly cop that becomes his comedic
I do remember
sidekick?
that.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I forgot about that completely.
They jump a car over a river and it makes a slide whistle noise.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. So he comes blazing in his fucking Smokey and the Bandit car like, "Yeehaw!" and just fucking pastes one of the T-Rexes full on with the bumper of his car, sends him flying through a bunch of machinery and priceless computer chips. I mean, somebody's we just bankrupted Intel in the future, like Dell. We just ruined Dell. So I see my opportunity there. Like, oh, finally, I can put on my clown disguise. So I dress up like a clown, which is also a thing that Roger Moore does. And luckily the remaining T-Rex is delighted by clowns, and so is the racist police officer. So they just kind of watch me, and I'm like, I don't really know any routines. I suppose I can. Is this your card? And I just hold up a random card, and they're like, I guess it's my card. And the T-Rex just kind of grumbles because it doesn't have language.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, guys, I suppose I can try another trick. Let's see. I'm going to make this bullet disappear, and I just shoot the T-Rex right in his fucking eye. I whip my Walter PPK out of one of my balloons because it wasn't really a balloon; it was a hiding place for my gun, my Walter PPK, and I shoot the T-Rex right in his eye.
Nice.
And the T-Rex just collapses with his little Uzis, taped to his tiny little worthless arms.
Nice.
And then the racist sheriff goes like, "I don't get it," and I shoot him too.
Good.
And I immediately win the Nobel Peace Prize.
Right.
Dressed as a clown. Ron Silver is waiting patiently, by the way, while all this takes place.
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, Roger Moore, it's time to go back to the past, to the future." And then he time cops out of there to the past to murder my wife, Diana Clitosaurus, once again. I'm like, "No, not my Diana. I've only just learned that we were going to have an egg together." Because she's a dinosaur, Dave.
Yeah, she's a dinosaur. That's true.
So I time cop back to the past to end Ron Silver's nefarious time cop plans once and for all, Dave. For the sake of my egg. Me and Diana Clitosaurus's egg.
Protect the egg, yeah. That all checks out.
Yeah.
That all scans.
I'm still dressed as a clown, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not moving too fast because I was already old and my hip exploded because I tried to do the splits.
No, you're not doing great, yeah.
Yeah. It's like when you join a kickball league in your 30s. You're like, "Oh, I can't do this anymore." No, certainly, I could never do the split, so I don't know what possessed me to even attempt it this time. I'm not sure what came over me. I guess it was feeling misty about birdhouses in the past.
All right. Well, it's time. It's time for the final fight at the castle. So Ron Silver and Ron Silver are hanging out in the castle with the
There's an important
pterodactyl henchman.
Important thing I need to remind you of in this sequence, Dave. You actually get 2 Sean Connerys here.
Fuck. Fuck. And the all right. And the raptor, right?
Yeah, they're raptors, right? We decided they're raptors.
Well, we have one. The Punchman is a raptor. We have 2 pterodactyls.
Right.
2 Ron Silvers. Fucking 2 Sean Connery. So I've teamed up with myself. I find myself in the past. I have a mullet. My past one doesn't. Right. And so I find my past self, and they're like, "Jesus, what are you dressed as?" And I'm like, "Put this on. We're gonna stop the murder of your wife." And it's the suit. It's the scuba suit with the seagull on it. From which one is that from?
Thunderball? I don't know.
Doesn't matter. And so he puts that on, and then I'm like, "Here, put on this racist makeup as well." And he's like, "Of course."
Obviously.
And so, yeah. And so then cut to the Ron Silvers in the castle and the henchmen, and they're all sitting around, and they're getting ready to murder my wife. And they just hear... and just like in the window comes the Aston Martin comes crashing through the window. That's the past Sean Connery ejects from it directly into the raptor, and just like tackles the raptor. And then from the other window, boom! I come in the jetpack. I'm holding like a... Oh no, my mouth is filled with cigarettes, and they're just shooting rockets every which way. And everybody's like, "Jesus Christ, duck!" It hits. It hits one of the henchmen, the pterodactyl one. It's like, "Wah!" It starts flying around. I'm flying around. My clone is just like wailing on the raptor, and the other pterodactyl goes, "Wah!" And they both start flying. And then we smash through the ceiling, all 3 of us, and I start fighting the pterodactyls in the air. And by fighting, I mean playing poker. We start playing poker.
Sure, yeah.
And like we do, it's like we're all just like shifty eyes staring at each other, like real intensity going on. And I bet a lot. the one of the pterodactyls has like a flush and the other has a straight, and they're like, we call this is like a sure fucking thing. And then I put down a straight flush, and they're like, what are the fucking odds of any of this? Also, are you dressed as an Asian stereotype? What the fuck is happening? And then I take out my pen and I stab one of them in the face. That pterodactyl just goes flopping to the ground. Meanwhile, my clone has taken out a briefcase. Right? There was like a magic briefcase.
In TimeCop?
No, in James Bond.
I don't remember. Maybe
it's like filled with gas. He takes this briefcase and he's you know what? He just starts beating the raptor with it. The Ron Silvers are trying not to be close to each other. Because they'll turn into
it's TimeCop rules. You turn into time goo. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's beating. Okay, it's
right,
beating the raptor.
I have no trouble believing that Sean Connery struggled to open a briefcase for a few seconds, then got fed up with it and just started beating.
Yeah, and just started beating him. That's the seagull suit one. And then I'm flying with the pterodactyl. I start jabbing at it with my with my pen. I take out the rocket cigarettes and I light it and I put it backwards in the pterodactyl's mouth. It blows up its head. That one starts dropping. I jetpack back down. I land on the raptor and the briefcase, exploding the raptor.
Sure.
And so then we have the two Ron Silvers. And here's what happens is that both me and my clone, we get up and we each take a Ron Silver and we simultaneously grab them by the small of their backs and we thrust them in our arms and we give them very forceful kisses.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we slap them around a bit and then we kiss them again and then we make them kiss each other. And they goo up. And then me and my clone, we look at each other, and I slap my clone, and I grab him in the small of the back, and we have forceful kisses, and we start gooing up too.
Yeah.
And it's just like a big thing of goo.
Yeah.
And the wife is just watching, and she's so into it.
Yeah, watching your fluids congeal on the floor.
Yeah, and so it's like a Ron Silver.
Time fluids.
Yeah, my fluid slaps Ron Silver's fluid and grabs the fluid forcefully and gives it a kiss. And there's still like the racist outfit like on the fluids, just floating on the top. And I died like I lived.
Honestly, yeah.
As this aggressive fluid.
Yeah, no, you lived free like Braveheart.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where my story ends.
Every man dies,
and then she has
goose.
Yeah, and then she has a kid.
Yeah, she's a horrible kid dressed up all in denim.
Yeah, she has a denim
just
monster.
A complete denim child.
Yeah. Fucking abomination.
Fucking
I didn't stop the bomb.
No, it just blows up.
Just the house explodes still. But she's not in it. And then and so all the evidence is erased.
I mean, the house explodes in TimeCop too.
Does it in both?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then that's everything worked out.
Yeah, Ron Silver just disappears. Like, that's the story of Ron Silver.
Right.
Presidential candidate Ron Silver canceled all of his meetings in a hurry one afternoon and disappeared.
Yeah, you're right.
Because he went to TimeCop's house and got time-copped. All right, so...
great film.
I'm Roger Moore. I come pulling up to the scene of the castle with Duran Duran. They drove me there.
Sure.
And I leap out of the car because I know this is we're back in the past. So Duran Duran is in its prime. So they were more than willing to give me a lift, a view to a lift. And I leap out of the car. Such is my excitement. So powerful is my desire to see my bride, Diana Clitosaurus, again. I leap out of the car with no regard for my own safety, and I shatter my ankle on the curb and fall into the grass and start howling like an animal caught in a trap. And once again, everybody just feels real uncomfortable. My past self, who was only slightly younger, a slightly less old Roger Moore, comes outside to see what all the commotion is and just flabbergasted. And he looks at me and he's like, "You've broken the sacred TimeCop rules." And I'm like, "Yes, but it is to save our bride and our unborn, horrible denim child." So past Roger Moore is suddenly filled with glorious purpose. And he rushes back inside the house and is like, "I must find something here that I can use against these pterodactyl henchmen." So I settle on Christopher Walken's blimp. Mm-hmm. He owes me a favor.
Sure.
So I
wait. It's owned by Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's from A View to a Kill. It's Max Zorin's blimp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just like to think it's actor Christopher Walken.
Sure, it can be
blimp.
this. Yeah.
Because he seems like the type to own a blimp.
Yeah. You need me to take care of some pterodactyls. Climb aboard. I was going to do that anyway. So we're heading over there. Once again, I'm making everybody wait a very long time for me, but they're used to it, you know.
Yeah.
One of the Ron Silver comes outside and spoons some Metamucil into my mouth to help me recover my shattered ankle. Duran Duran is playing. They just decided to set up an impromptu concert in the front lawn of my castle. So I show back up in Christopher Walken's blimp, and he's like, "I got this, Roger," and he parachutes out and takes out one of the pterodactyls just by headbutting it to death. Like he just latches onto its back like a fucking spider, and just bashes its head in with his skull, with his powerful skull. So that's one pterodactyl taken out. But of course, in the process of taking out the pterodactyl, Christopher Walken plummeted to the earth, so he's out of commish.
Yeah, that's fine.
He can't help me.
He did what he needed to do.
He can't help me any longer. Yeah. So I enlist the aid of Grace Jones, who's also in the blimp. I'm like, "Grace, Mayday," and she understands what that means. So she straps me to her back like a parachute, and we leap out of the blimp. Her eyes are all narrowed and shit, like she's ready to rip this pterodactyl's wings off, and I'm just flapping my arms saying, "Wee!" as we go flying down to the earth. Duran Duran is rocking the fuck out. People's balls are falling off. They're rocking so hard.
Nice.
Just playing fucking Enjoy the Silence. Oh wait, is that Depeche Mode? Anyway.
Who can say?
Who can say? They're the same band.
They're the same. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Grace Jones lands on the pterodactyl. We ride it down to the earth like a surfboard, and she rips its goddamn wings off, like as promised. And she runs off to tend to Chris Walken. And I'm like, "It's all right. I'll take it from here." So I rush inside to confront the two Ron Silvers. Oh wait, there's a raptor. Fuck. All right. That's like my actual reaction. It was Roger Moore's reaction. He's running inside like, "Now to be debonair." Fucking hell, it's a raptor. I immediately leap behind a kitchen table and call out for Paul McCartney. And Paul McCartney shows up, sees the raptor, and leaves.
Yeah, that's fair.
He was like, "No, sorry, Ringo brought a raptor to one of our meetings, one of our practices one day, and we were never the same. I'm not fucking with that again." So he leaves. I got to think quickly here. What do I got? What sort of gadgets do I have left on me that Q might have given me? Exploding cigarettes, perhaps? I offer the raptor a cigarette, but he doesn't smoke. Doesn't smoke. So that's a no-go. It's a no-go. It doesn't work for me. What else do I got here? My watch laser. Let's see. Batteries are burned out on that. I used it to kill the Dilophosaurus, if you recall. Oh yes, I know. I stand up, and the raptor snarling. I'm like, "Perhaps I could interest you in a dramatic reading from my autobiography, Roger Moore: The Story of a Man."
Oh no.
And I just read him some inspiring chapters of how I became an ambassador of goodwill and how I was 007 for 2 decades and how I'm friends with Michael Caine. And the Raptor really perks up at that because the Raptor's a huge Michael Caine fan.
Right.
And as I've got his in Raptor shirt attention, you see what I did there? I just beat him to death with a chair. Take that, you evil, scaly dinosaur. Your tools of oppression and indecency shall not stand in this TimeCop's castle. And then I run upstairs to deal with Ron Silver. Mm-hmm. He's got my wife, Diana Clitosaurus. There's a bomb about to go off.
Yep.
So I turn on the charm. I'm like, all right, this is my time to shine. I'm Roger Moore, after all. I'm charming. I'm debonair. I'm sophisticated, and I just have like a real polite conversation with the bomb about like British politics.
Right.
And I bore the bomb to death. Mm-hmm. It just shuts itself off.
Out,
like I go really into like Parliament and shit, and
right.
The bomb just can't handle it, and it shuts itself off. And Ron Silver's like, "What happened? I'm gonna be president." And then Diana Clitosaurus shrieks because she's a prehistoric beast, and just mauls the fucking Christ out of Ron Silver, and he crashes into other Ron Silver, and they turn into time goo, and then Diana Clitosaurus eats the time goo like a dog eating vomit.
Sure. It's hot.
And I'm like, I'm so glad to have you back, and we're going to give birth to a delightful denim egg. And we smooch, and she shits the denim egg out right then and there.
Nice.
And we name it Chris, after my pal Christopher Walken and his blimp.
Yeah.
And then Christopher Walken and Grace Jones get a ride to the hospital to repair his shattered legs with Duran Duran. And Duran Duran just cures cancer by playing Hungry Like the Wolf while they're at the hospital. He might as well while they're there.
Yeah. Why not? He's there.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's my. We time-copped it, baby. My castle didn't explode.
Yours didn't explode. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess you win that then.
I figured it out.
Everybody died in mine. I saved my wife, but
it counts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a victory, but like I think you managed to keep everybody alive who needed to be alive. I mean, Roger Moore is not going to last. You know, like he's just only got a few years in him, but
she's gonna Diana Clitosaurus, now that she's back alive, she's gonna fuck my bones into dust. Mm-hmm, like we're gonna have sex once, and my back is gonna break.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly.
And that's all I ever wanted was to die in my loving bride's embrace. Mm-hmm. And then I do that while dressed as a clown.
Of course. Oh yeah, she loves
She loves it. She loves the clown shit. Yeah,
she loves the clown shit. Yeah, she's that's a whole other movie. The things she's into. Mm-hmm. We did it, Tom.
Yeah, we sure did do it. Enjoy the Silence is indeed Depeche Mode. I apologize, everyone. I conflate them in my mind because they're both British bands that begin with a D.
Yeah, no, I understand completely.
No, wait, fuck it. Duran Duran might not even be British. I have no idea. Depeche Mode is. British. Depeche Mode certainly is.
Depeche Mode is definitely British. There's no question on that. Duran Duran could go either way.
Yeah. They could be from Arizona for all I know. No, they're both English. Okay, they're both English. I'm all right.
You're right, though.
They're both English new wave bands, all right?
Yeah. Yeah, no. Look, no one's yelling at you about your Depeche Mode Duran Duran knowledge.
Her name's Diana, and she's breaking Roger's back.
That's beautiful.
That's what they sing at my funeral.
Of course.
And she just shrieks because she's a fucking monster. She's a prehistoric monster.
Yeah. What is this world?
It's the TimeCop land. I don't fucking know.
It's TimeCop. Like, it's a world where they invented time travel and also dinosaur cloning.
Yeah. It's the best timeline, honestly.
It is the best timeline. This is the
It's like Marty McFly coming back and having a truck.
Yeah, it is.
And his girlfriend turns into Elizabeth's shoe. He's like, I fucking nailed it. Whatever I did.
Yeah, he nailed it. Like, he got that truck. That's true.
Yeah.
And he's got Biff as like the family slave.
The family slave. The obliging slave.
Yeah. I love how the sequel to that is like, you can't cheat to make your future better. It's like, it's literally what he did.
It's explicitly
in
the plot of the first film, yeah.
Yeah,
they become
he enslaved a man through time.
They become very concerned in the sequels about the time machine being used for evil when that's literally what they did.
Yes, and then Doc Brown,
a time machine wasn't invented to be used for personal gain, except when we do it.
Yep, and then Doc Brown is like, "Wait, I should have never invented the time machine."
And then he builds another one.
It should have been a train.
Yeah, it should have been a fucking chime train, bitches.
I made Time Kids with a woman who should be dead.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We exist in an alternate fucking death universe.
Yeah.
With my little kid who's fucking jerking himself off while he's introducing himself to you.
What a nightmare those films are.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, fuck. We did it, Tom.
Yeah. Whatever the fuck we did it. It is done.
Look, it's over. It's done.
It's over.
Listen,
it's over. That's the show.
I think that's the show. This should probably be titled "No Time Cop to Die," right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, big thanks to James Rainey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This was fun. We had fun. I don't know if you guys had fun, but we had fun.
Yeah, we always have fun. I don't know how this is a show, but we've done 13 of them. So
yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, listen, this was arranged through our Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed, you can find exclusive podcasts on there like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman and Fox Mulder is a Maniac and Star Trek The Next Futurama and Spiel Boys. That list is getting longer and longer every goddamn time. But that's just $5 a month. You get a bunch of exclusive podcasts. For $10, you can watch movies with us every Friday night. And then, there's other tiers where you can, for example, make us do a ridiculous improv role-playing action hero podcast.
Yeah.
The choice is yours.
Any podcast you dream up within reason.
Within reason.
Within reason. There are some limits. Obviously.
There are, of course, some limits.
Yeah.
Yeah, check that out.
We're not going to do Tom and Dave kill a guy, for instance.
No, that's on our own time.
Yeah, we don't record that. We can't monetize all of our hobbies.
Exactly.
We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store where we have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs. You can get them on t-shirts and mugs and stickers and posters, all kinds of things. Some really cool and funny, I think hilarious art is there, done by a bunch of cool artists. So check it out.
Check it out. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. It's great.
It's great.
It's great.
It's great.
It's great.
All right, let's be done.
Bye.
Bye.